Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Amiko here. Today we're going to work on our My Book of Numbers book. So the first few pages should be review for us. And as we get into the tricky teen numbers, that's when we're going to need to work a little bit closer. So I want you to take your time on this book. Don't rush. It's okay if you don't finish the pages that are assigned. This week, we're only going to be working on the first 4 pages. And page, I think it's 2 or 3. One of the pages didn't photocopy, so that's okay. Take your time, nice, neat printing. Really understand the concept of these numbers and understand that they can be represented in many different ways. Trust me, the more time that we spend on building number sense, the easier the rest of the math will be, I promise. Okay, let's get started on our book. All right, so remember the first thing I do is always the same. I pick up my pencil and write my name. So put your name on the front cover for me. Nice, neat printing. First letter is capital, the rest are lowercase. And the title of our book this morning is My Book of Numbers. Very good. So remember, reading and writing and math are all connected. I'm going to do mine in marker only because it's easier to see on the camera, but you can do whatever works for you. You can do lots of different colors. So we're going to start out with the number 1, right? So here is the grown-up way to write the 1. To write the number word is spelled O-N-E. That's how we write the number 1. Very good. Tally marks. A tally mark is just going to be one line down. That's how we show the number 1 in a tally mark. The dot pattern. So a dot pattern is what it would look like if it were either on a die or on a domino. And if you ever play board games or dominoes and you see it, a number 1 is going to be represented with just one circle right in the middle. And then I'm going to skip ahead to our tens frame. So for the number 1, all you're going to do is either color in one square or draw one circle, but it has to be in the top left box. You're not picking one square to color in. It's the top left box because we really want to build that directionality where we're reading numbers, reading algorithms or number sentences left to right, just like we do in reading. So we have 2 boxes for number sentences. So kindergartners, most of us are just going to add, but if you're ready to do a subtraction sentence, go ahead and do that as well. So for number 1, how can we make the number 1 adding? It's kind of a tricky one. The only real one we can do would be 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. And anytime you have a number sentence, you have to have the equal symbol, okay? And then we can flip it, right? If I know that 0 plus 1 is equal to 1, then I also know that 1 plus 0 is equal to 1. You could also do 1 minus 0 is equal to 1, or you could pick another number sentence like 10 minus 9 is equal to 1. Lots of different answers here, okay? But make sure that you have an equal symbol and that you have either a plus or minus symbol. All right, let's go on to number 2. Remember, around the track and back. 2, 2. To spell the number 2 is going to be T-W-O. Remember that the number word is spelled T-W-O, but you can also have the word to, T-O, like I'm going to school, or T-O-O, like also, okay? Tally marks, you're gonna have just 2 lines down, 2 tally marks, okay? A dot pattern for the number 2, either on a domino or a die, is going to be 2 circles in each of the corners. So just 2 like that. In my 10 frame, again, I'm going to put the first 2 boxes get colored in, or you can draw circles. But make sure it's the first 2 top left boxes. Don't just pick any 2 that you want. Okay. All right, let's do number sentences. Who can think of a number sentence to represent 2? Well, there's lots of them, right? We can add 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. That's a good one. We could also add 2 plus 0. You could do a subtraction sentence. So if you know 4 minus 2, right? So if I had 4 fingers and I took away 2, how many would be left? 2. Very good. So 4 minus 2 can also equal 2. Excellent. Okay. All right, and then it looks like the photocopy machine did not like the number 3 page. That's okay. You can either do that on a separate piece of paper, or if it's okay with your grown-up, you can go ahead and skip to number 4. So again, number 4 is going to be spelled F-O-U-R. F-O-R is the sight word, like I have a present for you. Okay, tally marks. 4 is just 4 lines down. We're not going to cross them yet. Just do 4 lines down. The dot pattern for number 4, if you were looking at a die or a domino, would just be a dot in each corner. Okay, and boys and girls, we would like to get to the point where if we just see that, we know it's a 4. We don't have to count 1, 2, 3, 4. That's called having a strong visual memory, visual fluency. 10 frame, let's color in the first 4 of our 10 frame. Remember, you're not picking, you're choosing to color in the top left. They need to be in order. Again, so I can see this, and I notice that a 4 is almost a 5, but there's 1 missing. So that actually helps me with my number sentence, because I know that if there's 5 on the top of the 10 frame and I have 1 missing, I know that 5 minus 1 is equal to 4. And if I know that 5 minus 1 is equal to 4, then that tells me that 1 plus, what if I added 1 plus, remember, so I'm kind of going the other way. Instead of going to the 5, I'm going to go this way. How about 1 plus 3? What does 1 plus 3 equal? Very good, it equals 4. Remember, boys and girls, numbers and patterns and relationships, that's what math is all about, okay? All right, boys and girls, so we are just doing the first 4 pages in our book of numbers this week. Next week, we will keep going, okay? All right, thank you for watching. Thank you for following along. Once you've done your book of numbers, you can just upload page 4. Okay, I trust you on page 1 and 2. If you could just show me page 4 on Seesaw, that would be great. Okay, all right, bye friends.